Hello everybody, my name is Alex Harshman with Wholesale to Freedom. For those who don't know who I am a 100% virtual wholesaler, which means I never see the property, never see the buyer, the seller, or the title company, and I still wholesale properties all the same, flip properties, all from behind my desk or anywhere that has an internet connection. I have done over 50 wholesale deals in my entire time of doing this. I spend roughly 3 to 5 hours each day working on my business, and I spend the rest of the time with my family, friends, loved ones, doing the things that I enjoy and the things that I love. In my channel, I talk about how to do just that through the power of wholesaling, whether you're doing it virtually or locally, by laying all of it out on the table. And today we're going to be talking about how to be a successful wholesaler in 2021, so that you can avoid a lot of the same struggles that a lot of wholesalers went through this past year and be successful. So let's dive straight in. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up for all the free content that I put out there. Also, please subscribe to my channel down below and also click the notification bell. It really does make my day when I see that you guys subscribe, comment in my videos, whether they're good or bad. And I'm doing this absolutely free. It doesn't take that much time to subscribe, and it really does help me out. In exchange, I will personally reply to every comment we get on this video. So let's talk about how things changed in 2020 leading into 2021. If you thought 2020 was competitive in the wholesaling industry, you're in for a treat for the next year. With the recent influx of people working from home, losing their jobs, looking for alternate methods of income, wholesaling has been easily one of the most popular niches of real estate, in my opinion. And because of that, it also comes with its own consequences. For example, more competition. More people are learning about how to wholesale properties, and in exchange they're talking to more people, which means more motivated sellers are being contacted by wholesalers. And even though wholesaling real estate can be a good thing for a lot of these people, it also comes with its downfall. Like anything that is good usually gets abused, and it now comes with more regulation. For example, a lot of wholesalers who are maybe new in this industry don't know how to properly vet leads and make sure that they're getting a good wholesale deal under contract before marketing to their buyers. As a result, a lot of people are leaving the sellers high and dry when it comes to closing. Maybe they're not updating them. Maybe they locked it up at too high of a price because they didn't do their proper research. Maybe because they just didn't know how. They watch all these TikToks, all these Instagram videos on how easy it is, and come to find out it's not that easy. What this results in is the sellers losing their home potentially to foreclosure, tax sale, and just being left hanging in the wind because you never know what the seller's going through. And if you promise that you're going to buy their house and they bank on that, then you could really put them in a bad spot. And now the states are getting involved, and they're starting to enforce on wholesaling, making it very difficult in a lot of states. One of the easiest ways to avoid this as a new wholesaler is to make sure that you under-promise and over-deliver. And on top of that, remember that we are not selling properties. We are selling contracts. Whenever we get a signed contract with the seller, that's what gives us the equitable interest in the property that legally allows us to assign our interest for a marked up price to our end buyer. A lot of the problems are coming from realtors who are having concerns about wholesalers selling properties, quote unquote, because they're advertising it as a property for sale, and that's legally called brokering real estate, which if you're not a licensed agent is illegal. So let's avoid that completely by understanding first, what is the wholesale formula? Some of you might already know this, but just to reiterate it real quick, because I mentioned it in a lot of my videos, the wholesaling formula goes like this. ARV, which is the after repair value, or what it's worth fixed up, multiplied by 70% because investors like making a 30% return on their investment, minus repairs, and then you're going to subtract the wholesale fee that you want from that overall equation. So ARV multiplied by 70% minus repairs minus your fee. And your fee can be anything you want it to be. So in my market, it's usually around 10 to 20,000, and I add that into the equation. And what this equation equals out to be is all that equals max allowable offer. So what your offer should be or lower in order to make this work as a wholesale deal. And I know what you're probably thinking, well, Alex, that's an extremely low price. Nobody's going to sell for that price. And you'd be absolutely right. Majority of the people that we talk to will not want to sell their property that cheap. We're looking for the ones who need to sell for that cheap. And that's where you're looking for motivation. If you want a video on how to find the ARV, I actually have a whole video on how I find comparable properties to come up with that number in a separate video, and I'll just put that in the description below. After you understand how the wholesaling formula works, now it's time to actually go out there and generate leads. And the way we do this is through marketing, because marketing puts us in front of the sellers. Because without marketing, there's no way for the sellers to know who we are, what we have to offer, unless you're door knocking or things like that. So now you have to choose a marketing method, or 1 to 3 marketing methods that you want to take. I suggest not doing any more than 3 because it gets overwhelming. And when you're starting out, you want to ideally have 1 to 2 marketing methods that you can really perfect, get down to a T. And then once you have those consistently generating leads, then you're going to want to expand and maybe do some other avenues of marketing. But first, get really good at those first 2. What are some marketing methods? For example, you have cold calling, direct mail, ringless voicemail, text blasting, Facebook ads. There's a ton of different marketing methods out there, door knocking. I have a whole entire video on this, so if you don't have money or a big budget to market on, or even if it's just $50 a month, don't worry, I got you covered. I have a whole video on how to do this the free way versus the paid way, and I'll put that link in the description as well. I got started on $50 a month and it generated $65,000 on my first deal, just from a $50 a month budget. If you'd like to see my story on that, I just posted it on my YouTube, and I'll put that link in the description as well. Now that we have our marketing down, there's one thing that's going to separate us from the competition that we want to make sure we do, and that's stay consistent. Stay consistent in our marketing. Again, with all the people getting into this business, 99% of them will not stay consistent. They'll advertise 1 month in a big chunk, and then they just won't advertise for months on. And then maybe they'll advertise in like 6 more months at a big chunk. I would much rather you stay consistent each single month doing the same thing, or maybe if you're doing more 1 month, that's okay, but as long as you have a consistent budget each and every month, that's what's going to generate you leads. Again, I got started on a $50 a month budget and I returned $65,000 in my first deal. That's not the case for everybody, but the secret was in the consistency of me marketing. Which brings me to my next tip, is to make offers. Make as many offers as you can. This is a numbers game, so don't worry about trying to convert every single lead. You'll get better at converting leads as you go on and you get experience, hands-on experience, staying consistent. Don't be afraid to make offers. I don't care how low or ridiculous it is. I've actually locked the property up for $1 and sold it for $7,000. So it's possible for the seller to even give you their property for $1 if they wanted to. That's how low you can offer. The world is yours. And one pro tip I can give you to make that friction a lot less intense whenever you're making the offers is a lot of people tend to go, hey, we need to be at this number or that's it. And then the seller hangs up on them. Don't do that. Instead, try saying this: would you consider this amount? And what happens is they can tell you yes or no, and typically if it's a no, they'll tell you why and what works, or it just leaves it open for negotiation so that way you can work with them. That's why we shoot really low most of the time, under that max allowable offer. So again, make as many offers as you can in 2021, because the more offers you make, the more deals you'll get. Now this next tip, a lot of you might write it off and say, hey, that's not important, I don't need to do that. And I will tell you that you're missing out on a lot of potential here. I have mentioned this in several of my videos and have seen great results from it, as well as the people I've taught this to. I want you to write down each morning things that you're thankful for that have happened in the past tense. For example, whenever I had a deal on the table, or if I was looking for a deal, I would always write down, I am thankful for this deal that I got. I'm thankful for closing on this deal, netting me X amount of dollars. Be specific. I'm thankful I was able to find a buyer for this deal. I'm thankful I found a buyer for this deal. I'm thankful the seller came to me and they wanted to sell their property and we got it under contract. I'm thankful that the seller needed to sell and I got this property under contract. Things like that. Write down everything that you want to happen in the past tense that you're thankful for. Gratitude is a gateway for letting the things you want into your life. Don't believe me? Try it out for yourself. I learned this exercise from a local millionaire who would perform this every single morning, and I had the wonderful opportunity to take him to dinner and to pick his brain, and he said, Alex, this is single-handedly the most important thing that I do each day. I don't know why it works, but it just does. Sure enough, I tried it out and it does work. And this brings us to our last and most important tip of all, is to make sure you subscribe to this channel. I provide all the information that you need to get started and to get started in the right direction. Whether you're doing this virtually or locally, it works the same. I'm serious. I mean, I put out all the content that you guys asked for. If you have any content suggestions, I typically make a video on it. And again, I will personally respond to every comment on this video. If you follow these tips going into 2021 for your wholesaling business, there is no doubt in my mind that you will be successful. A lot of people get started in this business and they do not have a great foundation to start on, and for that reason, you will already be that much farther ahead of the curve by following these tips so that you can achieve greatness. I hope you found value out of this video. I really enjoy making these for you all. I got a lot of great feedback. Even the negative feedback, I enjoy those too. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for making this a wonderful year. I just want to say thank you to all of you for all your support and for watching these videos. I appreciate each and every one of you. Here's to a safe and successful 2021 in your wholesaling business. And I'll see you all in the next one.